the West Coast, the East Coast, and deep in the heart of Texas. It's the Geek at Arms podcast with Bryan, Mike, and James.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the latest episode of the Geek at Arms podcast, a podcast about three guys camped squarely at the crossroads of geek culture and Christian faith. I'm James, and as always, my good friends Mike and Bryan are with me, and we are joined today by a very special guest whom I will let Mike introduce.
Oh, well, you all have heard me refer to my eldest as the eldest. But now the eldest is going to get a name because Sam has joined us on the show.
It only took him 20 years to name me.
Well, it's a very important decision. You want to take your time with these things. It's permanent, you know?
Do you know how hard it is to change a birth certificate? It's a pain.
Actually, yes and no. It depends.
Yeah, the reason why it's so hard to change is because Kaja snatched it out of my hands before I could finish Wise Gamgee on it. But
That actually is one of my nicknames given to me by my friends.
I can imagine it being difficult in those early classroom years when you get called attendance on your first day of school and Toby? Is there a Toby here? No, it's pronounced to be, as in to be determined. Parents haven't named me yet. You're 11. Yeah, I know.
so how are you doing, James?
You know, I'm not bad. I'm a lot better than I was just 2 weeks ago. I'll share this quick tidbit. Took my family on a end of summer vacation right before school starts for the kids. We went to Arkansas, to a lovely area close to the mountains. We went gem and crystal mining.
Ooh.
And it was a lot of fun, actually. The gem mining area found very little.
Mm-hmm.
The crystal mining, we came away with buckets of different types of crystals, mostly quartz, but we had a lot of fun just digging in the dirt with our hands and some spades and shovels. Another day we went tubing down the Caddo River. Never done that before. Made sure everyone had suntan lotion on because it was about 3 or 4 hours on the river in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
The front of my ankles did not get suntan lotion on them.
Oops.
Oh, no.
As a result, because I was in a tube, that's also the area which was either in the water or right above the water. And essentially my ankles, bottom part of my legs got microwaved.
Oh.
So what resulted was 2nd-degree burns and very severe blisters,
Oh my.
which I'm still dealing with almost 2 weeks later. There's still quite a bit of healing to do. It doesn't hurt to stand anymore, so progress. About the only times I'm really pain-free are when I'm laying flat on my back in my bed. And
Oh no.
so, yeah, I've been treating Tylenol like Tic Tacs. I've not worn shoes for that long. Thank God I already had a pair of Crocs, because along with that, my feet have swollen up. I can't even wear socks right now. So I've
we're
always
putting a content
maintained...
warning on this episode.
Yes, the content warning is this. Wear sunscreen.
That is a lesson that my younger sibling is constantly learning.
Yeah.
No, in their defense, they do put it on sometimes before they leave the house. They just forget that they have the complexion of
Like
wax paper.
I've seen ghosts that have more that have more melanin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the same family as that. My dermatologist told me, if you do go out in the sun, you need to wear SPF inside.
Yeah. Like, let's just get James a parasol.
That would actually be
Ooh.
really
Yeah,
good.
like-
I would rock a parasol.
Yeah, we'll put your heraldry on it so you can be like, oh no, it's my SC. Like you can make it a conversation
Yeah.
piece. There you go.
I always maintain that I don't want anyone to get hurt on our vacations, obviously, but if someone has to get hurt, I'm glad it's me and not any other members of my family.
That's
That's
believe
that's
as well.
dad's. That's dad's for you. So I did go to the doctor, and they looked at it and basically said, "That sucks. Don't do anything to it." Just let it dry out, let it heal. All right, cool. Here's
Did they-
$50.
So they didn't give you a prescription for like, extra strength aloe?
No, nothing like that. They told me not to put anything on it, which was confusing because in the same sentence they said, "Oh, also use Neosporin, but keep it dry. But put on Neosporin."
I want you to invent Neosporin powder.
Yeah. I'm like, see, I know you're thinking what you're saying is common sense and I should be able to figure out the process here, but it doesn't, and I don't. So
like, what do they think that you're putting on it? Like butter? Gravy?
I took the tube of Neosporin and showed it to the Burns. And I figured that's what they meant.
Like,
just
okay,
hovered it
Burns.
a few inches above. I made a little, so like it's a Star Trek thing, and I figured that would do it.
I read the directions to the sunburn, and it was feeling a lot better.
Ingredients.
Isn't that
So-
how it works with like children? Basically, like you just
Yeah.
like it'll feel better. We're gonna blow it a kiss. Tell it that it just needs to stay out of the sun and keep it dry, and that doesn't feel better. Like,
Yeah, but when you're paying
Mike,
the doctor,
she's not
50
supposed to give
bucks-
away our secrets.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that you don't expect the doctor to lie to you.
I think you've been living in a different world than the rest
Yeah.
of us.
It's fair.
Yeah, seriously. I get charged for lies. Enough about me griping, though. Brian, how you been doing?
I've been doing pretty good. It's been kind of even keeled. Nothing wonderful, nothing horrible. It's just business as usual. I do want to say before we go on with the rest of the podcast, though, I want to extend a heartfelt apology to all of our listeners. Just because we've been doing this for 8 years, and I'm sure we've got something to apologize for. By
I
now.
mean, like, I was going to say, like,
I was like,
there's,
I thought we were saving the apology for our 10th year anniversary, but let's just get out of the way early. That's fine.
sorry for doing this for a full decade. That's not on us. My bad.
Well, I think that will lead us to Geek Out, and it's tradition anytime we have a guest. Sam, you're going first. What have
I'm
you been
going
geeking out
first.
to recently?
Well, I have seen Superman twice. The second time was kind of on a whim. We were like passing by a theater while on vacation, and I was like, "Oh, there's a movie theater," and I looked it up and like they have $10 Tuesdays, and Dad was like,
Tuesday, you say. You mean the
Tuesday,
day
you
that's supposed
say.
to be the hottest on the campsite with a mother who doesn't sweat. So yeah,
How convenient.
yeah,
Hmm.
"Yeah."
that is going to be like my entire geek out. So.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I'll save my thoughts and feelings for when he starts talking.
Fair.
So I'll just put it out there that I watched that. I enjoyed it both times. And then this week me and my friend she comes over, we do art supply stuff together. We do art together.
We show our crayons to each other's crayons.
We organize them, Roy. Gee,
That's-
Biv.
That's really what I do. Art supply stuff. I go to the art store and I buy a lot of stuff, and then I put it in a cabinet and never use it. So-
Accurate.
I mean, my
Um,
name's paints right now.
Wow,
So I
you got the crayon box with the sharpener. That's awesome.
True. That actually is something that has been said in classes.
Because it's true, the sharpener box is awesome.
It is awesome, and it has like all the crayons, all the colors.
Yes.
So cool. But yeah, so we watched Stranger Than Fiction, which
Yeah.
I was just kind of expecting it to be kind of like meh. I actually really enjoyed it. I had no idea what it was about going in. But like the first couple minutes, you kind of figure out what it is. A guy doing his average life, doing his average stuff, starts hearing the narrator of his life.
What?
Yeah. And he's like going around, he's like, hey, I can hear a voice, and everyone's like, yeah, maybe you should go to a doctor. And he's like, no, I'm not crazy. Like, no, genuinely, there's this female voice who's narrating my life, like, as I do it. And he eventually, like, his, like, psychiatrist or doctor is like, I can, like, give you a writer to talk to. Maybe that will help you out with your definitely totally not mental condition. And so it's him and this writer trying to be like, okay, so, like, what's going on, buddy? And that's the basic premise. I don't want to talk too much about it, like whether it is really him going crazy or whether it is like something else, because that's kind of the fun of it. So yeah, it was actually really enjoyable. The the music or anything like wasn't super standout, but I was really immersed in this world and the characters that were introduced. Nobody was like outstanding in terms of like how well they were written. It's just, but I don't think that's necessarily needed in every circumstance. Sometimes it's the dynamics that are important, and I think that was highlighted in this movie. Is the dynamics of the characters. He's trying to like figure out what he wants to do with his life, with his job, like whether or not he wants to pursue a relationship with this girl, what's going on with this voice. It was like it was a good movie.
And it is still the only Will Ferrell movie I've ever seen that I enjoyed.
Oh, it's a Will Ferrell flick.
But
Yes,
it's not
Will Ferrell.
not a typical Will Ferrell flick, Mike.
No, it's like the Will Ferrell's Truman Show.
Yeah.
It makes you view him differently as an actor. It really does.
Yeah. No, I just looked it up and it is a Will Ferrell. I was like, how did I not realize that?
So this is
I do have to walk that back a little bit because I did enjoy Elf, but that was mostly because of the person I was sitting next to. He loved it. And so that was entertaining.
You watch Stranger Than Fiction, you think, wow, that's the same guy who was in Blades of Glory.
Oh my god.
This is not, I'm having some cognitive dissonance here. This can't be the same man.
I've only watched half of Blades of Glory because
That's all you need to watch.
yeah. I think that's probably about as much as I'd make
You've
it
seen the
through.
whole thing then.
I watched the trailer and that was too much for me.
it was really interesting because I was over at a friend's house and we were like finishing up dinner and their mom turns on the movie and it's like their mom's favorite movie. And it's just really fascinating. Like, this woman is so fascinating to me. Her entire life is so interesting. And so, like, learning about, like, her favorite movie is Blades of Glory was just, like, another bit of lore which added to, like, everything that made her a fascinating person. That is my only context for the movie.
So, James, you've seen this as well?
It's been many years, but
Oh, and there it is. It's
it's
2006.
Yeah.
I've never
Almost 20 years.
it
Oh my
is
gosh.
it
I'm
is
late.
worth the watch.
Oh, yeah. And it's currently free on YouTube.
That's the right price point.
Mm-hmm. And then for my next subject is I've been playing Deltarune. It came out, the most recent chapters 2 and 4 came out.
Wait, chapters 2
Wait,
and
2 and
4.
Sorry, not 2 and
4?
4, 3 and 4.
Oh, okay. Like,
Not
was
only
like-
can I
Oh my
can I
gosh.
articulate, I can count.
I thought this was
That's some Star
deep,
Wars episode
interesting
counting
piece of
there.
lore. Yeah.
I was
We're
like,
gonna do episodes 4, 5, 6, then 1 and 2, and then 7, 8, 9.
oh my gosh. I think that there's probably something that we can do creative storytelling wise with this. Release 1, 2, 4, and then like sometime later release 3.
There
Well,
is
just like we sing hymns.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's true.
Okay, so I've played Undertale, but I've not played Deltarune yet, despite your
You should really play it. It's made by the same person, Toby Fox. It's I think it's the art, music, and coding is all done by him. He probably does have some help, but don't quote me. I haven't looked it up in a hot second. But it's Deltarune and Undertale share the same characters, but it's completely different stories. It's kind of like a hard reset on the world. Like, this is an alternate universe, an alternate timeline, and you're getting to experience some of the themes brought up in Undertale through a different lens. And I honestly think that personally, I enjoy Deltarune more than Undertale, not because Undertale's a bad game. It's just I feel like Toby Fox has learned from like when he was doing Undertale. He's like, okay, music's solid, game design solid, my story is solid. How can I build on that? How can I make something that's solid and good even more better?
I think that's pretty high praise, because as soon as I finished playing Undertale, I'm like, Sam was like, "Oh, so now you're gonna play Deltarune?" I'm like, "No, I want to see if I can do this game on pacifist mode." And Sam was like, "No, you have to play Deltarune next."
Because if he's going to try to do that with Deltarune, he's going to be like stuck forever. Because I'm currently replaying, because after chapters 3 and 4 came out and I played them, I'm like, man, it's been a while since I played chapters 1 and 2. I'm going to replay those, and I'm like, it's still fun even after, even though I know everything that's going to happen, and I like, but there's also so many little Easter eggs and tidbits and secret rooms and secret bosses that I didn't explore or find my first run through, that there is still so much of this game to be had fun with. And I think that's one of the reasons why I really want you to play it, is because I'm like, the thing that you're doing with Undertale, you can do more with Deltarune. So I think you should really play that game next. I was like, but I want to play this again.
Now, for those who are completely unfamiliar with these games,
Mm-hmm.
can you give it to us in a nutshell, like what they're about and the style of game they are?
Yes, they are an RPG game, video game. And Undertale is the story of a kid who falls down a hole into the monster realm, where monsters and humans have been separated from a war for many, many, many years, and trying to get back to the human world and the monsters and their humanity within those monsters that they encounter.
It's more of an exploration of you yourself and
Mhm.
your concept of humanity. And there is an existential thread through the game. Like the game is aware of itself. So if you're, say, going through and you're fighting a character who's forced your hand into the fight, but you kind of don't want to kill them, if you do wind up killing them by accident and say, oh shoot, I don't like that, I'm going to revert to my previous save state, you quit the game, get back in, and a psychotic little flower says, no, you don't. There are some things that are permanent, and you have to live with this.
Have you ever, if you haven't, and to all of our listeners don't, but have you ever played Doki Doki Literature Club?
No, but I know several people who have.
It's got some of the same kinds of things where you get to a certain point, you're like, oh, this is awful. And the game has actually told you earlier, it's given you the advice. If you find a path that you don't like, just reload from an earlier save. And so I tried to do this, and the game like rebels against you.
Oh no.
The game says, no, you have to be sad now.
Yeah, the game kind of messes you up. It definitely did me for a
Like,
while.
Undertale isn't that hardcore about it.
No.
So I didn't feel messed up by it. I was like, okay, this is a game. But as they're getting towards the end and they're like, oh, I'm not going to threaten your life, I'm going to threaten your save file. And I'm like, oh, this game plays hard.
Now take those themes and elements that you really enjoyed from Undertale and then crank it up a little. Because Deltarune, actually, you start off, you're in what seems like the human realm, and you're the only human. Like, you are controlling the only human character in the entire town. Everything seems really fine. No one seems to be any sort of conflict between this human character and the monsters. There seems to be no conflict with that. And you're kind of slowly figuring out that you are not playing as this character, you are controlling this character. And the dynamic of you as the player being a part of this game, as well as the character that you are playing being its own separate.
Yeah, you just sold me on that game.
Yeah. So it's kind of, so it's dealing with that, as well as exploring multiple different character dynamics of like, it kind of takes like the trope of like the rebel who's like, deep down a softie on the inside, and like takes that as it is and makes it deeper, not by doing anything I would say extraordinary, but just kind of fleshing her out, which makes her more lovable and sympathetic just through giving her a story.
Do you have to play Undertale to play Deltarune?
Personally, this might be controversial. I don't think you have to. I think there are things that make Deltarune more enjoyable knowing the story and characters of Undertale. And Toby Fox himself has said that like Deltarune is for people who have played Undertale, but I think, at least so far with the chapters released and the content that I have played through, I think someone could start up Deltarune and be okay.
I'm just going to make a recommendation that everybody check your Steam library because I actually have Undertale. I don't know what bundle it came in. It was probably during COVID, one of those itch.io things, but yeah. You may already have it and not know it.
That's never happened to me before, not once.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it from me.
All right. Well, then who's up next on the Geek Out?
I will go next. As is usual with the summertime, a lot of superhero movies come out. And like everyone else here, saw Superman.
Oh,
I will do what?
There you paused. I said, that was a quick Geek Out.
I'll save my thoughts on Superman for Mike's. I did take the family to go see the Fantastic Four First Steps. And
how was that?
As far as like, I put this along with other Marvel origin movies, like the first Iron Man, Captain America, Black Panther, Shang-Chi. I really enjoyed it. This is the third time that they have tried to make the Fantastic Four work on screen.
Only the third? I thought it was the fourth.
You know what? Actually, I think it is the fourth, but there was one of them that was like a straight to DVD movie. I think that one's just kind of been lost to the collective consciousness, and let's leave it there.
See, I saw the trailer for this, and I kind of thought that the stakes were so low that I didn't care. I mean, it's them versus Galacticus, right? So why doesn't Squirrel Girl just show up and tell him to go eat nuts and he leaves for another planet? I mean, like, this problem has been solved.
I think you just really want a film adaptation of Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway from this, yes.
All other superhero movies suck. Squirrel Girl wins.
Yes. Sorry, James. What? Like, I've not seen anything but the trailer. The trailer looked good, but that's all I know.
So, is there the intergalactic menace of Galactus, which they brought fully formed onto the screen as a giant man who wants to drain our planet, not as a weird cloud of menacing particles? That was fun to see. I thought it was well done. The Silver Surfer looked galactic. The character's presence was menacing. But what I enjoyed the most was the chemistry and the family dynamic between the main four characters: Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Ben Grimm, and Johnny Storm. It was very good. I loved how they interacted with each other. You really got the sense of these are people who have known each other for years and years. You've got the married couple with Reed and Sue. The Thing and Mr. Fantastic are best friends. There's a great line when, after you find out that Sue is pregnant, Ben looks and goes, "Man, you're doing pretty good. I figured at this point that you'd have, locked yourself in your lab, worrying, solving a dozen problems." And Reed does, "Oh, I have that scheduled for later." I hope it does well. I can't wait to see them on the screen again. It does take place in like this, obviously in a different world than the mainstream Marvel universe. Another multiverse, whatever. I don't know which Earth it is. And they've got to bring it into the main Marvel fold. Which, have you guys seen Thunderbolts?
No.
Yes.
But I've heard good things.
Did it make a lot of money? No. Was it a good movie? I think absolutely.
Yeah, it really was. It surprised me a lot.
I was not expecting that good. I was going just because I love the characters of Yelena, played by Florence Pugh, and her dad, the crazy
I went
red
because
guarding
I got
Russian.
to see it for $2,
Whoa.
and I wish I had paid more.
Wait, where'd
Yeah.
you go see a $2 movie?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Well, I have that AMC A-list thing, so I get half-price movies on Tuesdays, and then after you see a certain number, they give you a $5 credit. So half price is $7. I use the $5 credit, and I see a movie for $2.
Nice.
A couple
Well,
times a
that
year.
tracks.
So very soon, though, Thunderbolts will be available on Disney Plus for those who have it. At one point, as the characters, you have to go through the essential, okay, now the party is meeting each other, and they all realize, wait, do we all just punch and shoot stuff? To which there's dead silence as the realization dawns on them. We all just punch and shoot stuff. And you think, okay, they're all hammers and all their problems are nails. That's where this is going to go. And while not giving away anything at the end of the movie, it's nice to see that instead of a big, gigantic battle, throwdown, epic speeches, it's a hug that ends up creating the resolution to the problem. and I am 100% okay with that.
I mean, if you can't hug Galacticus, who
No.
Making fun of
Geek
me
at
for
Arms headcanon is that he is called Galacticus.
This is just like when I did the Sarah Connolly thing. Anyway.
So anyway, you see at the end of Thunderbolts in a post-credit scene that there's the Fantastic Four rocket coming to Earth, and it looks beautiful. I love the ship. I don't know if I said earlier, it takes place in like a neo-futuristic 1950s, 1960s Earth. It's gorgeous. It's
I love that
absolutely
aesthetic.
I
gorgeous.
had seen that, and I really loved that.
Oh, it looks so good. It's like, man, why couldn't that have been real? I want to live in that world. So if you get a chance to see it in theaters, I highly recommend you do, or check it out on Disney Plus. And on to streaming, though, I have been really loving the latest season of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds.
I've seen a couple episodes, and it's not hard to love.
Yeah, we're in the middle of season 3 as of the recording of this podcast, and we've had some great episodes, wonderful plot. We've had some very silly moments. We had the very first holodeck episode of the series where they're testing one out, and it took my breath away in how they wrote Trek history, not on the screen, but behind the scenes into the episode. It has been confirmed that while the show has been renewed for a 5th season, that is going to be the last season of Strange New Worlds. But here's the thing, I'm okay with that, because that shows me that they have got a plan. That they're at the middle of their story right now, and they know where they want it to end, maybe leading to things further down the road. We have been seeing a lot more of the character James T. Kirk in these newer episodes, and he has been played almost too well by the actor Paul Wesley. In one of the latest episodes, he's a first officer of the USS Farragut, and he is absolutely not going full Shatner, and nobody should go full Shatner.
Not even Shatner should have.
Not even Shatner should go Bill Shatner, but he is doing a fantastic younger Kirk who is confident, but you can still tell is figuring things out as he's preparing himself for one day maybe sitting in the big chair. And I think that part of the plan is over the next 2.5 seasons, they're going to finish assembling the original Enterprise crew. They've already got Spock, Uhura, Nurse Chapel, and this season we've seen the inclusion of Scotty as well. We'll get McCoy on, and Kirk will come in at the very end, and you never know. After this series is done, we might get Star Trek 5-Year Mission. Who knows?
Well, that would be... Actually,
that would actually be fun.
That's a good title. Yeah, I have a game by that title. Anyway,
Probably.
That's a good game.
Would they be allowed to take that as the TV show title? Because that would be like a different, separately licensed game.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that the phrase 5-year mission is a trademark of Star Trek.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want with it, and I think that the licensing is...
Considering it's mentioned in the show intro from the 60s, I think they've got a handle on that.
Probably.
Paramount's got enough money to solve that problem.
It can be really confusing and just jump straight to Star Trek Phase 2.
Oh, there you go. Oh, don't say that, because then that could be what happens.
No, Gene Roddenberry had a project for Star Trek Phase 2. Some of it wound up getting, which is really just like another reboot of Star Trek, but he wound up doing it as Star Trek The Next Generation with a lot of changes. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Some of it became Star Trek the Motion Picture. Anyway. I'll throw out one final thing for my Geek Out. Joy and I love British television shows, especially British murder mysteries, but only ones that have been set in the 1960s or earlier.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no.
Amazing. And
So-
also would explain that funny word that I'm seeing in the notes. Only a Brit could come up with that.
Grantchester. I actually thought that was an anime. Funny
enough, I thought Deltarune was an anime. So Grantchester is the series of a Cambridgeshire clergyman who finds himself teaming up with a detective to solve mysteries and murders in and around the city of Cambridge. And this is
I
all
did that
taking
once,
place.
except they never did find the person who stole my wife's wallet. Anyway, go on.
Oh, it takes place in the I think the early 1950s. The end of the war is still fresh on everyone's mind. We're almost done with the first season, and a lot to go because it's got like 11 seasons.
Wow.
I think the latest season is just wrapping up. I'm sorry, it's got 10 seasons. The latest one just came out this year. So we're enjoying it. I'll give another report on it as we consume more. But right now, it's right up our alley, and we love it. And that will do it for my Geek Out.
Well, I guess I'm next up the rung then. And yeah, Superman's pretty much what I got on my Geek Out. And yeah, this is everybody's time to chime in. And yeah, I'll try not to go over like 40 minutes for the sake of our listeners. But I am kind of done with superhero movies. So I just kind of got a little burnt out on everything that wasn't Squirrel Girl because, I mean, okay, she's her own thing and she gets a pass. But, you know, it's over a month since release. People are still going on about it. I've heard such good things, and also it's going to be 94 degrees, and I have a wife who literally does not sweat, so that is medically a problem. So like, okay.
It was also $10.
It was $10, so may as well see Superman. And I had a lot of preconceptions about this film going in, and I found a lot of those expectations were really well subverted. Part of that is because I kind of have this general pattern of expectations of when we live in times of less social pressure, society tends to really gravitate towards gritty or complex or dark hero narratives or anti-hero narratives. And when we have darker times with more complex social forces or greater social depression, I think that there's a reason why My Little Pony Friendship was Magic was very, very popular roundabouts the time that we were living with the fallout of the 2008 crash. I feel like people gravitate towards simpler good and evil or cheerier narratives. And I'm like, oh, well, Superman, he's the good guy's good guy. Like he's your paladin in a cape. He's super powered and he's super, super, super good. And I was really surprised to see that they were operating with a Superman who had his moral compass intact, but also at the same time navigating some of the same complex social forces that really give me a lot of grief.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So he's showing that doing good in the face of systematic evil is hard, and you can't always just punch the right thing into outer space and your problem is solved. So it was a fascinating film. And just even the opening of seeing Clark opening up with a struggle of a serious loss at the start was really incredible. Like, you don't need the backstory. You don't need an intro.
Everyone knows Superman.
Everybody knows where he comes from. Exactly.
Right. Maybe you don't know that he has a dog named Crypto. I did. I watched cartoons when I was a kid. There was Crypto. Where did Crypto come from? I don't know.
My mom did not know.
Oh, she did not.
She was like, there's a dog in this movie. Who is the dog? And I'm like, that's Crypto. And she's like, oh my goodness, there's a dog. The dog gets punched. She's like, oh my God. It's like, the dog is fine.
Like,
It's okay.
I did not.
Your mom's about to John Wick the director for her.
Oh, she was. She was. She was like gripping her face. She's like, oh. It's like, it's okay. It's okay.
I was having kind of a does the dog die moment when I saw, Crypto, being threatened, but I'm like, no. Crypto's fine. They're not going to.
Even Zack Snyder DC Universe isn't going to kill a dog.
I was about to say.
Well, and they did a lot of really smart things in this film when they have, kind of the does the dog die threat level, because Superman is not going to be killed. Like, you kind of can't, and if you can, you don't. We learned this in the 90s. But usually the way you threaten Superman is to threaten something that he cares about. And so when they had the baby that was about ready to go into the river of don't put anything in the river, I thought that was super, super, super smart from a design standpoint, because it was clearly a baby, but it didn't look like a human newborn or a human, like it was an alien baby, and it had those cartoonish baby features that made you relate to it like a baby without feeling like, oh my gosh, you almost put an infant in lava reaction.
I was still actually having that reaction. I was just kind of like thematically and story-wise, I understood why that needed to happen, but also simultaneously, I'm like, I feel like this baby has kind of died like 8 times, because there's like no glops of splashes being splashed everywhere. I'm sure that baby got some of the no glops on him. I feel like this is a either very lucky baby, or
yeah, he's a lucky baby. He's carried by Superman.
Yeah, well, even Superman needs to realize if you're going to carry an infant close to a collapsing protostar with globs of antimatter flowing down at an exponential rate, you need to have the mutant baby in a approved baby carrier.
I mean, I think
I think that would have solved everything, actually.
Like, you know what? If they would have said, "Hey, man, can you show your baby what a baby carrier looks like?" You know what? You know, you can what element do you make a baby carrier out of?
I do want to point out there is a fantastic moment in the Fantastic Four where they're about to go off on a mission after Sue has given birth to the baby. Here comes the flying car, and it is Reed, Johnny, and Ben taking like a good 10 minutes trying to figure out how to put the car seat in the vehicle.
Oh, that's too real.
It is so hilarious and relatable.
Oh gosh. Like, yeah, Sam, something that you don't remember is that the nurses actually watched us put the car seat into the car to make sure that we did it right before we took you home.
That's actually really funny, because I was thinking
They're
about how
legally required to.
Oh my goodness.
Not so much in the neo-futurist 1950s, whatever time frame it was.
I was more so thinking about how difficult I made car seating when I had gained a little bit more sentience.
And will and wait. Anyway, so what did you all think of this film?
One thing that stood out to me that really impressed me was that they allowed Superman to get frustrated. He's in this interview situation and he's not getting his way, and you can see, I would really like to just throw a fit right now, but I can't because I'm Superman. And just him being that human really sold me on the whole movie, really.
Yeah. And the fact that he and Lois are both so different, and so reasonable, though. Like, when she delivers a line with utter sincerity, like, you don't question anything, Clark, and I question everything. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, both of these people make sense, and their motivations make that. And it's, I thought also she was just an incredible Lois.
Oh,
yes.
Same.
Yeah.
I also liked the dynamic of, like, at heart, he is Superman. At heart, she is a reporter. And how those personalities, like, as you were saying, intersect. But their chemistry still worked.
It felt like a very real relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not stylized like they often are in superhero
I made
narratives.
your favorite, pancakes. That's your favorite.
Okay, moment of truth. How many of y'all have done that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe not with pancakes, but
Like I said, it's relatable. He's very relatable. This is the first, I'm going to put the addendum here, live action Superman movie to get it right since 1980.
In what way? I'm curious.
yeah, let's unpack that, because I've not really seen any live action superhero movies since the 1980s.
But that's not true.
1980 was when Superman 2 came out.
Yeah. I saw Superman 4 was the last Superman movie I recall seeing live action.
I'm sorry.
Superhero or Superman?
Superman.
Oh, I thought you were saying superhero.
Oh, no.
There have been Superman TV shows. There have been Superman movies. of course, with Zack Snyder, and then there was the Superman, I think, Returns.
Superman Returns with Brandon Routh.
Brandon
Yeah.
Routh, yeah. They
Which
were.
I liked him as Superman, but I hated their Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Yeah, where was Gene Hackman?
I'm not sure that I'd
Yeah.
put Gene Hackman up there as the greatest Lex Luthor either.
Oh,
He was
okay.
entertaining.
Yeah, he
But,
was entertaining. Once again, this is James's thoughts and feelings on the character.
That's why I asked. Yeah.
Superman portrayed at his best is when we're not just seeing Superman who sometimes acts like a person named Clark Kent. Superman at his best is a human who is Clark Kent, but puts on the costume of Superman to help others.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what we saw in this movie.
Yeah.
Yep. I
We saw
really
him-
enjoyed that.
Yeah.
We raised in Kansas, to which we can all relate. How
I was
difficult
raised in
that can be
Illinois.
sometimes. Man who was raised by great parents who did their best with someone who was obviously different than everyone else. But no matter how difficult it was, how strange he was, they loved him with all their heart. In the few scenes you see with Ma and Pa Kent, that was evident.
Mhm.
Those moments of family together were great. They were grounding. They were humanizing.
Yeah.
When him telling you is like, hey, when Pa Kent, I love that they got just a guy who just looks like an older Midwestern gentleman. No great named actor to play the part. Just a guy who looks like a dad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, he tells him, son, it's not where you're from, it's your actions that determine who you are. And I am so proud of you.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that took my
That
breath away. That made me
hit.
that hit hard. I'm like,
Mhm.
that's what he needed to hear. What young person doesn't need to hear from their father? I'm so proud of you.
Mhm.
Yep.
And that's what he needed to hear in that moment. And the scenes between Clark, not Superman and Lois, Clark and Lois, especially in the interview, that was so good. She was hitting so hard, and you
Mhm.
saw the frustration in his face because this was not going where he expected it to go, but it was where she knew she needed to take it because these were serious questions that he was not entertaining because he's still in the early days of his superheroing, and sometimes maybe he feels like I can't solve these questions by punching it to the moon. And that does answer the question, but unfortunately it opens up other questions.
Well, I mean, and I think that's part of she was in some way there to show, yeah, we're dealing with a complex world that has consequences beyond their intended
Mhm.
Yes.
their intended endpoint.
Mhm.
Not everything is just giant monsters that need to be punched to save the city.
Yep.
But then they give him a giant monster that needs to be punched to save the city.
And they
And-
and they utilize that to show a different aspect of his character.
Exactly. Because it's more than just, I'm going to punch him into the building. I'm going to throw cars at him. He is spending most of his time saving the city
Mm-hmm.
and the people and squirrels around it.
Mm-hmm.
Squirrel Girl would approve.
She
Well,
would
no,
absolutely approve. That's
as-
an origin right there.
As
Um,
much as that was such a silly little he even saved the squirrel, but no, that is
I don't.
who Superman is. He saves
Yes.
everyone. He's like
Yeah.
everyone matters.
Like,
Because
I
in
didn't
his
see
world
it as
it does, because
silly.
he realizes he's got the ability to save as many people as he can and everyone if he can, and that's what he's going to do.
But I mean, compared to a Kryptonian, I'm not that much different, you know. And
Yeah. There's to add to show a juxtaposition between him and the Henry Cavill Snyderverse Superman. I like Henry Cavill. I liked his portrayal of Superman. I don't like the scripts he was given
Mhm.
in those movies. But there's a scene where a tanker truck is sent flying towards Superman, and he just gives himself he just does a little jump over the tanker truck, slides behind him, and explodes into a building. Lots of damage. Here, and this is a scene we saw in the trailers, and I absolutely love it. There's an explosion or something happens, and all of these gas tanks
Mhm.
come exploding out of a truck. There's a little girl there, and he is instantly in between her and the tanks, has got one arm around her, the other hand is pushing her head down as to keep her as hidden and as safe as
Mhm.
possible while these things explode around him. That's the Superman we need.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there was something that was also really something else when you were saying, you know, this is the best Superman that you've seen since the 1980s. and they gave the nods and the winks to the 1980s. Like they
Mhm.
opened it up and gave us the John Williams and
I
gave us
cannot,
the credit
yes,
style. And I'm
I
like,
cannot express how happy I
oh,
was to hear tributes to John Williams' score because it's one of my favorite scores of all time. And I think it is essentially tied to the character of Superman. And it's been left out for so long. To hear it again felt like a return to form for
yeah,
me.
yeah. That it hit the right
Mhm.
emotional beat for me.
Yeah.
That it
And
let me know where I
yeah.
was at, and it felt good.
And there he is at the end, confronting Lex Luthor. Which, quick question: what was your thoughts on Nicholas Holt as Lex?
I
I
personally
loved him.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I really loved how I actually liked how young he was, which I didn't expect to like that. But it really, I think for me, it personally highlighted how naive he was. Like, he is so power hungry and he does not understand the consequences of his actions and how things can so easily blow up in his face because he is not experienced within the world. He has one thing on his mind and he thinks he knows how to get it, and that's what he's gonna do. And I think the way his costuming and his delivery of monologues was absolutely fantastic. There was a couple of times where there is some points in one of the monologues that he gave at the end that it felt like a little bit too on the nose.
See, that's the thing that my only quibble with the film on my first viewing was Lex Luthor's explanation of his character motivation. And I think that is just a little too self-aware for a mad billionaire driven individual.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And you want to tell me that he's not mad? Nobody splits the universe down the middle
Mm-hmm.
because they can to meet an objective without being a little bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously super intelligent, super rich, is a force of personality. That he's got like a cult-like following of scientists following him. These people all know what they're doing. The ones
Mm-hmm.
that are at the computers around him, they're 100% aware, and they're doing it because they're dangerous because they believe in Lex in
Yeah.
what he's doing for the most part. Um,
He's got a
so
cult.
he's got a cult.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I really, really enjoyed about the characterization of Lex in this film, first of all, it was very obvious. I've been watching this guy fight, and his entire thing was detailed, intricate study of Superman is what enabled him to do what he was doing.
Yeah.
But in terms of the characterization, I was told by somebody else that one of the objectives here was kind of as a continuation of the Smallville television show. And I don't know if that was true or not, but this particular character, I can absolutely see just a straight line of Lex Luthor's personality, goals, and actions from, was it Michael Rosenbaum, I think was the actor's name in Smallville?
Yes.
Through this guy. I mean, it's like, wow, that is the same character.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of great monologues, I loved at the end what really brought it home for me with this portrayal of Superman was Luthor is like, okay, things have gone to crap. I need to get out of here, and is trying to head to his portal. In flies Superman, not to destroy it, not to beat him up, not to carry him instantly away to jail. You know, Luthor calls him some choice words, and Superman's like, dude, I love this. I'm as human as anyone. I get scared. I wake up in the morning. I don't know what to do. I just go out there and I try to make the best choices, and I screw up all the time. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man,
Too true.
Did you watch the after credits?
I loved the after credits.
I mean, like,
oh my goodness.
that felt real because
Mhm.
like he's there with Mr. Terrific, who was great, and
Terrific.
he was terrific, and he sees like it's just a little off, and he says something like, "What do you want me to do? Pull it apart and put it back together again?" And he's like, "Man, I shouldn't have said anything.
It's like,
I'm
gosh,
such a-
I'm such a jerk.
I'm such a jerk sometimes." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that feels so real." And that's one of the things that and I was listening to the Retro Rewind episode on Superman 2, and one of their hosts had said, well, Christopher Reeve really knew how to be two different characters, Superman and Clark Kent, and they had mentioned that didn't really appear in this film. And I'm like, yeah, that's accurate. They made choices that they were not being, here, let's pretend to be nerdy reporter Clark Kent, and then put on the costume and be Superman. It really felt like a whole integrated character.
Mhm.
Like he wasn't play acting at being Clark, he was Clark.
Yeah.
And
Well,
this
and they
Clark
had
was
that
Superman.
mechanism of the hypnotic glasses.
So you know about the hypnoglasses.
I
Clark Kent. Does he tell everyone?
I honestly thought that was the Green Lantern. Like, okay, he was a Green Lantern. Did he have a name other than
Guy
Captain
Gardner.
Hammer?
Guy.
Okay, Guy
Yes.
Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner.
Gardner. Like, I
Played by
thought
Nathan Fillion.
that was him. Okay, we're
Loved
gonna
it
get on
so
that
much.
in a minute.
Yeah.
That was that. Like, I thought that was him just getting it wrong.
No, that's the actual. There's a comic book
From, like, the
precedent for it,
60s
and the
or
whole thing
70s,
about
wasn't it?
people not getting that Clark Kent and Superman are the same person was because the glasses are hypnotic.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh!
A lot
I
of
did
people
not
miss that
know
part.
that.
They're like, "Oh, Clark just puts on glasses and nobody recognizes him." It's like, yeah, because
Well, because that was the complaint, and so one of the comic book writers said, "No, the glasses have a superpower themselves."
But nobody recognized
"Oh,
Christopher
okay, we're
Reeve
done."
when he put on glasses and went to the deli.
I can't recognize
For real.
I can't recognize anybody if they like change their glasses or hair or anything. I'm like, who are you? It's like we've known
So,
each other
yeah.
for 8 years.
We're pretty simplistic people that, someone changes one or two things, they're like, oh, hello, stranger. How are you?
It's
Okay.
true.
Well, it's true. He put on the glasses and he changed his hair. So
Exactly.
mean-
he like does it up in the morning when he goes to
Yeah.
work.
And he's like,
Honestly,
Maybe
When-
I shouldn't wear the cape to work. I'll just leave that at home.
when we had the spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen this movie a month after it came out, and however long this is in editing, when they showed the clone of Superman and the hair was different, I'm like,
Who is
wait,
that?
is that Anakin Skywalker?
Oh my goodness.
Not for real, but like
Hayden
I knew it
Christensen's
wasn't.
in this movie? What?
No, not Hayden Christensen. Anakin
I know,
Skywalker.
I
There's a
know.
difference.
Skywalker, yeah.
I will say I was so glad that they were like, and I cloned you, that is you, because I had no idea who that was. And I was like, I don't like, who is this guy? This is obviously some sort of big reveal. Is this like a callback? And it's like,
Like-
and it's you. And I was
Like,
like,
oh, the hair was different,
"Oh."
and he's not wearing the glasses.
Yeah, he's not in blue.
But
Nathan
Nathan Fillion, okay,
As-
I
oh my
need you
gosh.
to settle a family dispute. Like
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan
That's
Fillion.
it. That's it.
That is the
Dispute
Okay.
solved.
So when Nathan Fillion delivered the line, I'm going to like Green Lantern a hammer and come back and smack you.
it was absolutely a reference. Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I
so-
think that part was a reference, but I think at the end when he hammers somebody with his Green
Oh, no, no.
Lantern powders, that's not a
Oh,
reference.
that was no, that wasn't, because that was even a different guy.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
you're
the
right.
elemental guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
Mom
okay.
said that was a reference. I was like,
So
no, that's
that-
not even Nathan Fillion.
That
Oh,
is
no, no, no.
absolutely a Dr. Horrible reference.
Okay, that was amazing.
The question is, did he ad-lib it?
I would love to know.
Dad did say that. Like, my mom was like, "Why didn't he like use a hammer to like smash the bad guys at the end?" And my dad was like, "It's because the hammer."
No.
Don't
Finish
the
Good night, everybody.
sentence.
Well, thank you for joining us for another episode of
That's
Geek
it,
At Arms.
everyone.
I was gonna leave it there. Don't worry. Unless that is too much.
All right.
So I will say, I mean, I think we all agree we absolutely love Nathan Fillion. We love how he played this character. I love that he insisted that he be given a bowl cut for
Oh
it,
my
because
goodness,
that's
yes.
how the character is.
Insisted on that?
He
So
insisted
ugly.
on the bowl cut because that's what the characters always had in the comics.
Oh,
And I was super happy when I read that Nathan Fillion was going to be playing a Green Lantern. I feel like he got cheated by not being given the character of Hal Jordan, because he has voiced Hal Jordan in like every other portrayal of Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, in DC animated movies and shows. So I'm like, just let him play it, man. But you know what? He was fantastic as Guy Gardner. Taking nothing away
Right.
from that. It was so good.
what's funny is like he is like notoriously, like, just his reputation is he is the nicest guy.
Mhm.
And yet he has this Captain Hammer, he has this Green
So
Lantern that are
smarmy.
such jerks that you have to wonder this is just some form of catharsis for him.
It's like, finally, my true nature gets to come out.
But given that we're 25 minutes into my Geek Out,
You didn't even bring up that Alan Tudyk voiced one of the robots.
I mean, I could probably spend another 20 minutes on this movie, but let's save that for, like, maybe we'll do a whole Superman episode some other time on so many other Supermans. Supermen, Supers, man, super. Supers.
I don't know how it's doing in the box office, but I want more of David Cornsweet as Superman. He did great. Give us more, please.
Oh, yes.
This is the Superman we've been waiting for. In this whole new look on DC, give us more, please.
Yeah, this is done right, and that'll wrap it up for my Geek Out.
All right, I guess that leaves it up to me. On everybody's recommendation, I don't know how many people recommended Spinning Silver to me.
Yes,
It's so
by
good.
Naomi Novik. I enjoyed that so much that I was in the Barnes and Noble and I saw, Naomi Novik. I'll read that one too. And so I picked up a book called Uprooted.
Kaja loved that.
That's the Beauty and the Beast.
No, it's Baba Yaga.
Oh, I haven't read that one yet.
Yeah, it is just as good as Spinning Silver, and it is just as you're reading it and you think, I know I have read this fairy tale, but I have never read this fairy tale before.
Right.
Because it just feels so authentic to old world fairy tale structure, and it's just fantastic. I recommend it every bit as strongly as Spinning Silver.
This is the thing, is that writing fairy tale novels is hard without it feeling corny or just quickly redressed or redoing the same thing. And Naomi Novik seems to find a way to take the DNA of these characters and combine them with a unique story and just knit it together in something that feels, I don't know, feels authentic with these borrowed narratives.
Mm-hmm. If I had any criticism at all, it was the number of times that I had to look up a Polish pronunciation guide for the names.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is, yep.
But yeah, it is a really great book. Recommend it to everybody. I have been playing Tales of the Shire, which was just released last week, I think.
Joy has been curious about that game.
It is a new cozy farming game set in the Shire.
Oh my
of
gosh.
J.R. Tolkien. And it is Stardew Valley in 3D with hobbits.
Wait, in 3D? So are you using your Oculus for this, or?
No, just as in you've got a full 3D world and you're walking. It's a third person shooter style.
Gotcha.
Obviously without any shooting because it's a farming game.
Yeah, but is there smoking?
Instead of guns, it's wheels of cheese.
There isn't any smoking.
What?
These are hobbits, right?
Like,
They are hobbits, and I would imagine that there was some somebody said no, you can't actually put smoking in the game because children are going to be playing it. But
It's going to be one of the
in all other
DLCs
ways,
called Old Toby.
there
Brought to you by
will
Marlboro.
definitely be right. There will definitely be mod, I'm sure. But it name drops, the famous hobbits. I think it's set maybe just a few years before the birthday party. Because Rosie and Sam are flirting, but Sam doesn't actually appear. He's in Hobbiton, and this is set in Bywater.
Rosie and Sam are flirting, but Sam doesn't know.
Well, they send each other letters.
Oh,
And Rosie every once in a while mentions, "Oh, Sam Gamgee sent me some flower seeds in the latest basket from the gaffer."
Aw.
And he just signed it Sam, but I know what he meant.
I was just linking up some of the screen caps of it, and it looks really pretty.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. You know that line that Bilbo says when he's talking about Frodo and how he's in love with all the streams and the forests of the Shire?
Yeah.
You're walking through that and you're like, yeah, I get why Frodo is in love with the streams and the forests of the Shire because
Mhm.
it's so pretty and it's so, you just like to walk around in it. And the run mechanism is hilarious because, you know, as in all games, you press shift to run.
Mhm.
Your character doesn't speed up at all. He just starts skipping,
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
or she, I suppose. So yeah, it's great. I've played through 3 seasons so far, so it's winter time now. And yeah, you got a few hobbits that you would recognize from the books and the movies, like Farmer Cotton and Rosie. Sandyman is in it. So,
Have any dwarves come knocking on your door yet?
there is a dwarf
Yep.
in the story, and she's entertaining.
Does she have a beard?
Yes.
She does have a beard. Yes.
Okay, so I mean they're not slouching on this.
Nope.
So it's fun. We'll see if I stick to it longer than I did Stardew Valley. I think I've already stuck to it longer than I did Stardew Valley. It does have the some advantages over Stardew Valley in that every time you meet somebody, you apparently LoJack them. So when you want to go find another hobbit later, you can find them on the map.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
my goodness, yes. I've been wanting that Stardew Valley update for so long. It's like, wait,
That was the most frustrating thing in Stardew Valley. I was like, okay, I know I need to talk to this person. I don't remember where they live or what they do.
mm-hmm. I'm always looking at the Stardew wiki. And it's like, okay, what time of the day during this season, after I've done this specific thing of this specific day during this specific time, can I find this person?
Yeah. And one of the major pieces of it is you make food and you throw parties and you just invite people over to have a meal together. And if you don't invite them often enough, they get upset with you, which is kind of funny.
Wait, I love
So,
that.
It is a very hobbity game.
That actually sounds really fun.
That sounds
I
delightful.
wonder if that comes out to Nintendo Switch. That might be a present for my mother, your wife.
I'm glad those are the same people.
I think you just outed yourself.
But we don't have time for this to turn into a therapy session, so let's just move on to our main topic, which is the next stage in our film club.
The next stage or the last stage?
Well, this is the last film club,
But not really.
by which we mean we're doing movies that have the last in the title.
So usually we ask why this film, but I guess it's fair to answer the question that's lingering out there. Why this film club? Like, why are we doing The Last as a film club? Honestly, folks, it was just a joke that got out of hand.
Because we're the hosts and we thought it would be a fun play on words. So this is what you get.
So it's because it was funny. Don't ask any further.
Right. I mean, and it was one of those things that I tossed out some really films that I didn't think that we'd really actually want to see with the last in them. And then we started just kind of bantering around some other films that had the last in them until we were like, no, I'd actually do that film. I'm like, I'd actually do that film.
Well, it turned out, I looked back at our little matrix of topics that we've suggested, and like your first 3 jokey suggestions were actually already on our list.
Oh, that's right, because somebody had said that we should do The Last Samurai as part of our historical fiction.
Historical fiction, yeah.
But we never, for a lot of reasons, we never made it to that one. We did instead, we did do a samurai film, so it still counts. But yeah, I think that we had the two of you were a bit more enthusiastic about The Last Starfighter than I was, because I hadn't seen it since the 80s. And I just kind of neglected it as, okay, that's probably just another dumb 80s film, until, again, the Retro Rewind podcast had done it, and they actually gave it some pretty decent, they seemed to enjoy it. And so, yeah, here we are.
And I have just a real good connection with this film myself. I saw this for the first time in the theater in Orlando because we were visiting Walt Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
And the creature effects were scary and spooky enough that, you know, my parents were covering my eyes whenever there was an alien on screen. And I just remember it very vividly, just this theater going experience, watching The Last Starfighter and just loving it because, you know, I was the kid this was made for.
Mm-hmm.
And I have watched it dozens of times since then. It's been just one that I continually enjoy. I know it's not a great movie. It's not a landmark movie. I like it more than it probably deserves. And, you know, we select movies that have meant something to us more than ones that are noteworthy. So it's a natural choice for us to review.
Like you, Bryan, this has been a movie that has been one of my favorites since childhood. I wanted my own kids to experience, so I bought the anniversary DVD on Amazon. It's not available to really stream anywhere. If you want to watch it online, you have to rent it from Amazon. So I'm like, no, not having that. I'm getting the DVD.
You actually can download it from the Internet Archive.
Oh, okay.
Really?
The quality is not fantastic, but yeah, it is available on archive.org.
So you'll be able to watch it as if it was playing on your parents' old TV in the 80s in syndication.
Yeah.
You're not
Same
wrong.
quality.
It's funny because we had this film on video and we watched it on repeat. I'm pretty sure it might have been my brother's pick more than it was mine, but I somehow fell off of this film. There are a lot of 80s films that I come back around to, but I actually was surprised at how much I enjoyed this film. Like, this was a fun flick.
Reflecting on it as an adult, I realized that this is the ultimate 80s kid Star Wars fan wish fulfillment movie.
Yeah.
A small town teenager, Alex Rogan, Luke Skywalker, is swept away from his trailer park hayseed home, Tatooine, by a mysterious, enigmatic wise man, Obi-Wan, and he finds himself recruited in a battle against the intergalactic villain Zur and the Kodan Armada, Darth Vader and the Empire.
If Obi-Wan Kenobi had been a used car salesman.
I said it felt like as if Ender's Game in Star Wars Episode 4 had like a baby, and that's what this movie was. That's what I said during the movie. I was like, this is like, as it's going on, I'm like, no, I was right. This is exactly what this is. I was like,
I hadn't made the Ender's Game connection before, but yeah.
Kid gets recruited by the military via video game. I mean,
yeah.
Child soldier.
So it came out in 1984. So 1984 Filmcraft. Let's go.
Okay. This is the first instance of integrated CGI. And I know that to be true because I saw it on Wikipedia. The phrase integrated CGI is acknowledging that there are other computer graphics in films. Like, we'd seen the Genesis simulation in Wrath of Khan, the Death Star briefing simulation in Return of the Jedi, all of Tron, and plenty of other wireframe animations that are presented as wireframe animations in a dozen other films. But this was, go ahead, Bryan.
The company that did the visual effects for this movie is called Digital Productions. And you can tell they're the very first one because they can have a generic name like that and it just works. And this actually wasn't their first feature film that they used their new technology on. They did Ice Pirates before this one. Their only contribution was the hyperspace starfield, just rendering the stars.
Okay.
But that was their kind of proof of concept that, okay, this computer imagery is something that we can do and we can put it in a movie and people they will go to see it. Not as many people went to see it as they would have liked because Ice Pirates is not a great movie.
No.
But
I've often wondered what this movie would have looked like if they had used ship models and practical effects like we see in the original Star Wars movies and TV shows, sci-fi TV shows of that era, like Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers. And I feel like that if they had, then this movie would have felt like it was just one step ahead, one step
Mhm.
above of what Battlestar Galactica looked like.
Well, as a
And
matter of fact,
I think without having the digital effects, it would have lost a lot of the charm.
they could not have made this movie with the models because it would have been 3 times more expensive.
Because of the detailing.
Well, the effects budget was $4 million. That was what they had to their initial effects budget. That was what they had to do these digital shots. And they had the vice president of digital productions was previously an stop motion animator and model maker. And she estimated that if they had done it with models and stop motion, it would have cost $12 million
Really?
Interesting.
for the effects.
Well, then I'm going to withdraw one of the comments I was going to make, but I'm still going to make it. Is that this being the first time that we saw in the universe real world objects rendered instead of models and props, I was going to say that many of the shots strongly reminded me of Jurassic Park. In so far as your scientists were so preoccupied as to whether or not that they could, that they didn't stop to ask whether they should.
Well, I referred to the effects budget starting at $4 million. They actually spent $5 because at some point they realized we can't get this movie done with this budget. And this woman, the VP, what was her name? Sherry McKenna, went into a meeting with Lorimar and said, "We can't make your movie." And they were just going to sue them into oblivion. She's like, you can do that. You can sue us. You can put us out of business, but then your movie does not get made because we are the only people who have any capability of doing this. It's like, I have cut out a lot of these effects shots that you wanted to do. Here's the ones that we can do legitimately if you give us another $1 million. And somebody takes her out into the hallway and she's giving this rundown. It's like, okay, $1 million and it does get done. You promise. She said, I promise another $1 million. The movie gets made on our terms, with these effect shots. Otherwise, you're flushing everything down the toilet. And so they gave in and they gave him the additional $1 million so that it could get done.
Wow.
That's amazing.
How do I get her on my negotiation team? Like,
No, exactly.
I want to take her to the table the next time I ask for a raise.
Yeah.
Well,
To
it
go
helps
from
that
being
she was-
sued to give us another $1 million and getting it done, that's some pretty decent tactics.
Mhm.
it helps that they were literally the only people in the world who could do it. They were one of three organizations in the entire world that had a computer capable of doing it, because they had one of 3 Cray XMP supercomputers that existed. The other 2 were owned by Boeing and the CIA, so obviously they weren't available.
Hey, CIA, can we borrow your computer, like, just for like an hour or like a month while it renders this shot?
I can only imagine that conversation went down well.
You'll love it. You'll love it. The movie's got aliens. Which ones?
Well, it's got Centauri, so it's the cool kind.
Like, you don't need a supercomputer for that. We'll just give you the actual aliens.
How do you feel about making this in Roswell?
Which I do want to say that the creature suits for this movie, for the early 1980s, I thought they looked pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had written that down in my little notebook that I was writing things down in.
For as much as the emphasis is on the CG being groundbreaking, I think the creature effects are very often overlooked.
Mm-hmm.
That beta breathy face as it's forming was so good.
Mm-hmm.
That stars me years later.
I watched it recently with all of my kids in preparation for today. When we got to that scene and you see the blanket over the beta unit, I suddenly had a memory. Like, I turned to my kids, hide your eyes, just in the nick of time, and they did. And I'm kind of glad they did.
In a few years, we'll show you this again, and you'll understand why.
Yeah.
But for now, do not look at that.
I still cry.
Yeah,
No.
I cringe still when that happens. Like, I remember this from when I was, however old I was, 8.
And the Zandozans look good. I mean, they're creepy, they're weird, but they're good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an American Werewolf in London, but
No.
it's still some solid work.
Yes.
I did want to also call out one other person at Digital Productions. Their production designer, Ron Cobb, designed the Gunstars, designed every little detail on the Gunstars, and he didn't put anything on there without being able to say why it was there. You know, oh, there's a panel, it can pop out. That's where the tools are for when they have to do a spacewalk to repair the Gunstar during flight. Every single hose, every rivet had a reason for being there, and he could tell you what they all are. The same was not true of the command ship, because that was just kit bashed and they threw stuff on all over it. But the Gunstar was very, very meticulously designed.
I mean, the Gunstar was the hero of the show, so that makes sense.
And I also really appreciate when it comes to design like that, it really does help you immerse yourself into the movie and the world and the story. Like, I mean, not everything has to make exact sense, but the more that it does, the more I feel like this is a breathing, living world.
That's kind of one of the things we were saying about Lord of the Rings when Viggo Mortensen said, well, I want to have a whetstone on my scabbard so I can sharpen the sword while I'm in the wilds. Oh, I'll also need knives for when I'm skinning things. Like the little things can sometimes just make the world feel just a little more real. And that Gunstar, I don't care how many years later, still looks pretty good.
Looks pretty epic.
I watched a little featurette on Digital Productions and watching the process of designing the Gunstar and the things that they had to do, because again, nobody has done CG before. You know, we had the Genesis simulation and all that, but the process of taking this model that they designed on a drafting table, you know, traditional, we've got a top view, we've got an elevation view, and then we've got this big table with sensors in it and these two pucks, and we put one puck on this vertex on the top view and the other puck on the same vertex in the side view, and then hit a button and the computer figures out where that is in 3D space, and they build the thing triangle by triangle.
Oh my gosh.
That's so cool.
And just that, and being able to see this and see this guy's drawings, and they're beautiful. If you look up that, I don't remember what the name of the program was, but if you look up the Last Starfighter visual effects, you'll find a blog article that's got it linked. The first like 2 minutes are in French, and then because all of the people that they're interviewing were Americans, it turns into English after that. But that's the one that I'm talking about. When it starts in French, you know you've got the right one.
Good to know.
And they've got, you know, the images of what's the concept art and so forth, and all the blueprints and everything, and descriptions of all of the politics that went on behind it. It's a very fascinating documentary.
Interesting.
I love documentaries like that. It's clear that there are people that were passionate behind this project.
Oh, definitely. And something that I actually really, speaking of passionate, was how this movie utilized its theme whenever it was suited. And I honestly don't blame them. It was a good score and a good theme.
Yeah, the music jumped at me right at the credits.
Yep. Oh, beginning credits or end credits?
Both.
I was about to say, like, right as soon as the movie began, I was like, this is some good music.
Thanks to Craig Safran, who honestly was channeling his inner John Williams for this movie. My wife even asked me as we were hearing the music, is this John Williams? I'm like, it's not surprising. And it's much better than it has any right to be.
Really.
It's somebody who listened to a lot of John Williams.
Someone who really likes John Williams.
Like, it doesn't sound like John Williams. Like, it's really distinct. But
it does in a couple of places. There was a couple of bits. I'm like, is that the That is right out of Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, and when we were seeing just little bits of the command ship and they started playing the Jaws theme, okay, that was a little much. I don't know how you didn't get sued, but you did it.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with being compared to John Williams. Just don't overdo it.
They owned it because the opening title sequence is right off of Superman too. So
Yeah. Maybe it was just his homage. But great score, great soundtrack. It's one that I've often thought, like, you know what? I should just download a couple of the songs from it. Just put them in my mix.
Mm-hmm.
So shall we talk about the story?
I mean, yeah, that's honestly the part that really hooked me. When Dad was describing to me this movie, is like, oh yeah, it's about this movie, and it's like this kid gets recruited by this intergalactic military via an arcade game. It's like kind of like lame. It's like an 80s movie. I'm like, no, this sounds epic. This sounds awesome. Like, he's like, it's probably going to be a bad movie. And I was like, no matter how bad it is, it's going to be amazing.
I love the underlying theme and moral of this movie is, kids, if you play enough video games, your wildest hopes and dreams will come true.
Which, like,
it worked for me.
I mean, yeah. And like, there is certain games that like do hone in some skills that in certain militaristic positions are beneficial.
I mean,
so it's like, I was like, Dad, this actually is like slightly true to life.
America's Army is out there.
I would like to talk to some drone pilots, except I'm probably not allowed to. One thing that I really liked in this story is the idea that the last something allows for a less mysticized version of the chosen one trope.
Mm-hmm.
Like, generally, if somebody is the last something, then it creates a duty to act. Like, even a reluctant hero, and Alex is a very reluctant hero, can become the hero because there is literally nobody else left to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it also just removes the prophecy, the other world, yet any of the voodoo that says like why magically the hero must be the hero. It's all in practical real world explanations.
I would really love somebody to really treat that trope and just really lean on that it's survivor's bias.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
But like something that I was talking about with my dad was how like something that I was actually really excited about this film club. I was like, man, you could like talk about like what the last means thematically, writing wise, narratively, what drives this movie to be the last of whether in narrative or out of narrative. And I was like talking about this, like this is actually really cool because this technically is a chosen one narrative, but it's more so kind of more happenstantial than other chosen one narratives. Like it's kind of like, yeah, you kid have been plucked from the brightest and the best, and it's like, I don't want to do it. It's like maybe you kind of should come back and do it because everyone else is dead and they're gonna kill you anyway. So like,
I love how it subverts the trope of the last one because he, in so many other stories where the person finds out that he's the last hope and the music swells and he puffs out his chest and I will help and I will do this. And Alex is like, nope.
mm-hmm.
Wait, what do you mean that their armada is dead? What do you mean? There's no other no gun stars. The base was destroyed. What do you mean I'm it? And he is absolutely having none of this.
He's like, explain to me how this is a me problem.
Like exactly.
Exactly.
And the refusal of the call step in your hero's journey is like step 3 or something in most stories. And I'm looking at the time code as I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, yeah, so he's got the refusal of the call and there's only 20 minutes left of this movie. It's like he's literally at the climax saying, no, I don't want to do it.
Well, in his defense, he's had a lot thrown at him in the last 24 hours. He finds out he loses his loan. He thinks his girlfriend's going to leave him. He gets kidnapped by aliens, put into a highly dangerous experimental fighter craft with another alien who sometimes dispenses folksy wisdom. Then he's told he's the last hope for the universe. I think his reactions are pretty understandable.
I would say moderate. Yeah. That's kind of like dialing just a bit back to like this really is a chosen one trope. what's funny is they actually have an homage to that in the film. Because one thing that I found out, after we had done all these nice notes, is that the writer actually got the idea for this because he was reading the Once and Future King while watching a kid play an arcade game and break the high score, and he's
my
like, "Well,
goodness.
wait a minute, what if that is Excalibur?" And they even dropped that in, saying, "Oh, so you used the Excalibur test."
Oh my
And it's
goodness.
in the dialogue.
That was actually something else that I appreciated about, like, in universe, they made reference to, like, how'd you get this arcade out there? It's like, do you know how long it took to develop the game, to, like, get the game into production, get it into the arcades, and then get it all out by Christmas? And I was like, I was actually wondering about that. I just
Yeah.
thought it was going to go unanswered.
Wait,
This is
our
beautiful.
Christmas?
And that unit was supposed to go to Vegas.
Yeah. No, it was, like, so beautiful.
Like, we're gonna talk a little bit more about Centauri when we get to Centauri, because I've got a
Yes.
lot to
Oops.
say. No, there's no oops. This is Geek at Arms. We are all over these notes.
I ruined the entire flow.
Oh, no, we
Oh,
ruined
You'll
it.
have to
first thing you
cancel
need
the
to understand is there is no flow.
And with that in mind, I'm going to go back to the last thing.
Yeah.
That the term "the last" functions differently in this movie than in most movies that we talk about. The Last Jedi, Last of the Mohicans, Last Samurai, because most of the time it's a phrase of mourning the end of something.
Mm.
This is the last of the Mohicans. There's no more Mohicans anymore. The samurai are dunsies. They've got to be Yakuza now. But in this case, it's a phrase of hope.
Mm.
The starfighters are gone. No, there is a last starfighter, and he's going to save the day. And even we compared it to Star Wars earlier. Even Luke Skywalker was not the last. He was when we got to the Last Jedi, but Yoda says, "No, there is another."
Yeah.
So he is literally the last hope for the galaxy at this point. And so it's more of a hopeful last person rather than that mournful one that we usually get.
But while we are talking about story and Star Wars, I have to say that there are some very early things that are so Luke Skywalker on Tatooine about
Oh
this.
my goodness.
Yes.
His friends pull up in the pickup truck, and he tells his mom that he was planning on going down to the lake with his friends, and it sounded so much like, "But I was going to go to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters." And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's right there.
I had that same thing on my note. I'm going to Silver Lake / Tashi Station.
I look at Alex and I think, it's like a studio exec thought, let's take Luke Skywalker, put him in a trailer park, give him a semi-permy mullet, and there's our hero.
Yeah, but it worked.
Yeah, it did.
It really did.
Do we have anything more to say about the story?
I'm sure it'll come back in as we talk about characters. But
Sure.
Speaking of mullet perm boy, let's talk about Alex.
played by Lance Guest.
Yeah, no, I said that his character, I feel like, though he's relatable, he doesn't want to get kidnapped, he doesn't want to die in this war he has no part in. He's kind of the least interesting compared to the rest of the cast, but I don't feel like as if it hindered the story. I felt like his kind of vanilla-ness kind of aided in his relatability. Like, he is just some kid who's just trying to, he doesn't want to live with his mom anymore. He wants to, go out there, see the world. I was kind of noticing, and even in his bedroom, he's save the whales. He has, country posters. He has an entire, little solar system up. His entire character is, I don't want to be here anymore.
But then you put him in the middle of an intergalactic war. I didn't want to be here either.
When I said I didn't want to be here.
I wanted to go to college, not the army.
So you have to be careful with this, because on some levels you could view this movie as proof that the draft works.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine
Yeah,
the next stage of the US military? What if what if we instituted the draft in their Xbox?
Well,
They
you
already have.
say
It's called
that.
Call of Duty and Battlefield.
I mean,
Well,
you're not wrong.
I go about with my friends sometimes, and we were at the Marshfield Fair a couple of years ago, and there was just this trailer. It looked so sad and dinky, and it had like Xbox and like Call of Duty on the side of it. And I'm like, what is this? And I go up to it and I walk past it, and it's the U.S. Army recruitment, and they're like, if you sign up, you get 2 hours on the Xbox playing Call of Duty in the truck alone. And I'm like, thank you, but no thank you.
There's candy in there too.
I know, it was
Turn over your driver's license before you go inside. We promise you'll come back out. Yeah, I don't think that we want to start looking too hard at 80s movies and jingoism, and that's a whole rabbit hole.
yeah.
Moving on.
The opening scenes, I thought, set him up really strongly.
Mhm.
But his overall development wasn't really great. I think James kind of actually said it right when he said, I'm scrolling back up in the notes, the fan wish fulfillment, that he's a self-insert character. He's
Mhm.
intended to be kind of bland so that you're imprinting yourself upon him.
Yeah.
Yup.
I mean, the
Bland, too.
trailer could really have described him as meet Alex Rogan, generic, wistful 80s teen, everyman, whom you wish you were and you actually are, wishes to be somewhere else.
I think the most telling detail about him personally was that he was stymied not by not getting a scholarship or not being accepted to a school's choice. He couldn't get a student loan, which is
Mhm.
literally the easiest thing for a teenager to do in the 80s. If you can't get a loan for going to college, you're at the very bottom of the economic ladder.
And honestly, I think that scene was really something else. I know that there isn't a lot going on with him in terms of character progression, but he did not have any lines during that rejection letter.
Mhm.
But he did some of the best nonverbal acting in the film.
Yup.
Like, his raw emotion was there, and it felt really real.
Mhm.
I actually think that's what also sold him and Maggie as a couple, is that they don't say a lot of lovey-dovey things, but the way that they look at each other and the way that they deliver the mundane lines at each other sell that these people are a couple. Like, they had so much nonverbal chemistry.
Yeah.
It was good.
You believe that this was a couple they've lived in the same trailer park for years. They know everything about each other. They're comfortable with each other. They love each other. So like you said, they can have quiet moments just sitting in a rocker, and it's 100% believable.
Mhm. Now, speaking of, I forget Alex's actor's name, but his performance overall. I mean, he played two characters in that movie. It was the beta droid, Alex's android. He played both Alex and the android quite well. I never once doubted that these were two entirely different characters, and I actually really liked their dynamic when they were, well, I think like the one or two scenes that they had together was quite amusing.
I mean, I think that the only thing that helped selling that these were two different Alexes is one was wig Alex and the other one was natural hair Alex.
I thought you were going to say one was real Alex and the other one was head on table Alex.
I mean, that
Which
was
the
also
scene where he sees the ship coming down and one hand is on top of his head and the other one pinches the bridge of his nose and shakes his head back and forth. That cracked us up.
The visual gags were also great, but I think that's also another Centauri segment to talk about. But yeah, more on Alex's android. I felt as if despite Alex's android's scenes being amusing, I felt like there was a little bit too much focus on the scenes. Like, again, greatly amusing, but my dad had said at some point when watching the movie that he felt like those segments could be their own TV show with how amusing they were and how frequent they were. They they kind of took me out of Alex's own storyline a little bit.
It turned out they were there because the beta unit screen tested so well.
I mean, that makes sense. The beta
I'm
unit was...
envisioning an 80s TV show, My Boyfriend, the Beta Unit.
No, exactly.
Yes.
Coming to ABC.
It'd be such a beautiful hot mess, and I'd watch every single
I think
episode.
it was called The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. I think the beta unit actually had more screen time with Maggie than Alex himself did.
Yeah.
I got where they were going. They were looking for a humorous subplot, but I just didn't think it was funny enough to justify how much of the script they devoted to that.
Mm-hmm.
And there was kind of a disconnect because the beta unit was really, really good at interacting with Lewis. It's like he was perfectly persuasive with the little brother, but then didn't have any ability to interact with Maggie at all, which I thought was kind of weird. I wanted some kind of justification for him not getting that part of Alex's personality.
Mm-hmm.
It's because Centauri doesn't have romance. They're all arranged marriages.
Because he saw the original Alex deal with Lewis and knew how to do it and just went off that. He never saw Alex deal with Maggie.
It's because, no, he imprinted off of Alex, and Alex was never really great with relationships anyway.
Oh my goodness.
And everything to do with Lewis can be filtered down into one command is, go to sleep or I'm telling Mom about your Playboys.
Yeah. The casual use of pornography by 9-year-olds to be unpacked in a future Geek at Arms.
And profanity.
It's like, maybe we should tell Mom about that. We probably should have a family discussion.
All right. Let's talk about Centauri. And,
Being the
okay.
best character.
You
His
mean
character.
Music Man in Space?
Yes, Music Man in Space. Okay. I adored the writing, the delivery, the cadence of his lines. Robert Preston did a lot with just a little bit of screen time.
Mm-hmm.
You could have chosen any number of other actors to play the part of Centauri. Sure. Could they have delivered a nice performance? Absolutely. Could they have brought the entertaining cunning of an interstellar con artist? Absolutely not.
No.
No way. He's playing an intergalactic Harold Hill, and I am 100% okay with that.
I think it might be worth watching the movie again just to revel in some of his delivery and some of his lines.
Oh yeah. He made the movie.
I talked about the charm of the movie a little earlier. This movie wouldn't have half of it if it didn't have him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like it's like he keeps talking to keep you from thinking about what a hot mess you're in.
Oh no, exactly. And I ate it up. Like
You wish he had more screen time.
yes, I was actually so sad when he died, and I was like, man, oh, the movie's gonna be boring. It's gonna suck. And then he came back, and I was like, yay!
The thing that gets me is that if it wasn't for Greg, I would have suspected that there was no expectation that he was actually dead. Like, I'm going to recover from this, but I'll bet you he'll do this if I, died a little.
Which I honestly found amusing.
So that's my headcanon, is that he knew he wasn't going to
Wait,
die.
I thought that
my
that's what I took the
headcanon
read as. I thought you were being serious. I was like, yeah, I also read it as that he died as a little bit of motivation.
And see, my headcanon is that Nick Fury actually lifted the idea from this movie to motivate the Avengers.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, that actually is a solid read for Nick Fury.
Mm-hmm. He just watches 80s action and sci-fi movies and keeps notes on what parts he can use to manipulate others. That's 100% believable for the character of Nick Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about Centauri except love him, loved Robert almost said Robert Patterson.
Like that.
You were great as Batman, now do Centauri.
Yeah.
Robert Preston, but let's talk about Greg.
Who's Craig again?
Greg is the navigator alien.
Oh my goodness.
We loved Greg. He's
Greg lives
just
at my
fun.
lives in my head forever whenever somebody says, "How do you do?" I do well. How do you do?
Like, Greg did some of the better exposition of the film
Yes.
in
Mhm.
such subtle ways.
Yup.
When you get to the parts where here's how the ship works. Basically, he's giving a tutorial,
Mhm.
which even in video games can be dry and rough. You don't care because he's delivering it so uniquely and earnestly. You're like, no. I need 5 more minutes of you describing the Gunstar in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Well, and they did something really subtle, and that he's describing the heads-up display, which, we've already seen the heads-up display. We know how it works. We've seen the video game. But then, Alex tilts his head for reasons, and it disappears. And Greg says, "Oh, no, you have to be looking at it dead ahead in order to
Mhm.
see it," which then allowed them to save a whole lot on their effects budget. So they don't have to show the heads-up display except for critical moments. And especially
Mhm.
you get a lot of these face shots that's looking at Alex from the
Through,
wrong
yeah.
side of the heads-up display. And they've already explained to you why you don't see the heads-up display. We want to see the actor's face, not
Which
the HUD.
is actually so smart.
I thought it was
Mhm.
brilliant. But yeah, Greg was charming, and he was exactly what he needed to be. He gave the
Mhm.
assist, but didn't distract.
And the actor is Dan O'Hurley.
hmm
Would not have guessed he was Irish from the performance, but he is, or was. I don't know if he's still alive or not. But he did a really great job of acting through that makeup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of it.
hmm Every time he gave his little dry inhale laugh, his my kids and I all cracked up. And here's the thing: he's 100% believable.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's not an actor underneath a mask and gloves. That's Greg.
Yep.
That's the alien navigator. He
Mhm.
gives such a great performance, such a believable performance. You 100% believe, that's Greg the alien.
Yeah, you never catch him performing, I think, is the thing.
hmm
Yeah. My only disappointment with Greg is that when he gets introduced to all of Alex's family, and Alex is introducing them and they're talking to Greg, and Greg responds to what they're saying, which makes perfect sense to me. And then Alex's family responds to what Greg is saying. I
Without
really,
a translator. right?
really,
Yep.
really wish that they would
Yeah.
have just acted like it was gibberish, because when, they're, instead of saying, how do, like, I do well, how do you do? He was actually like,
I was kind of really hoping for
Uh-huh.
that.
uh-huh.
And Alex standing there like it's all normal because
Mhm.
he's forgotten that he's got a translator.
I would
That would
have,
have been hilarious.
I would have loved that so much.
It's like, oh, here, have a fish. Stick it in your ear.
Yeah, here's
You'll
a-
understand now.
He gives some of the best lines and deadpan moments of humor in the cockpit as well. We got to get through the fighters. We're dead. Oh, don't worry. I'll have it all figured out by the time we reach the frontier. Boop, boop, boop. What's that? The frontier. And Bryan mentioned about, the last of this, the last of something facing off against impossible odds. He goes, yes, one Gunstar against their armada. I've always wanted to fight a desperate battle against incredible odds. And you feel with Alex, like, you're going to die.
Oh, yeah. It's like, how
Well,
can
I
you
would
have
like
this
a
much-
different navigator, please.
Yeah.
Well, most of them are in the harsh vacuum of space, so feel free to pick one up. Unless there's anything else on Greg, what do we want to say about Maggie?
I want to know, would you run off with your high school boyfriend into space?
Uh,
How's she gonna do in like 2, 5, 10 years? Like, is she like, imagine like him coming home one time being like, Maggie, I'm home, and it's like you were canoodling with a 3-headed wildebeest.
I mean,
Like,
there is a fair point that generally young brides who get married to new military recruits do poorly while they are on deployment.
I have heard many firsthand experiences.
Yeah, we won't share all of those. They're all sad.
You have to keep in mind the era in which this movie was made.
Oh yeah. Oh
Early
yeah.
80s. They're going off to space. Do they have a plan? No. Does she
No.
know what she's going to do?
No.
She just found out that aliens are real and her boyfriend might actually be one because he was a robot, 12 hours ago. Who knows what he is now? Possibly, but you know what? It's fine. They're going off to space together. And as the credits roll, you assume that they lived happily ever after.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm saying this, very sillily.
Yes.
But
It was a sweet ending.
But it was. And also, to your question, would you run off into space with your high school sweetheart? Melinda, if you're actually listening to this from a space station, I'm willing to make a completely platonic pact right here, right now. Just let me know. Yeah, just putting that out there. I mean, space.
Yeah, I think that this is
I'll take
where
you with me, don't worry.
the current invention of the post-credit scene would have really been served in this movie, where she goes off to space and you see her in front of a Starfighter video game console, and they're all around her and like, wow, Alex, she is so much better at this than you.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, we really should have recruited her.
Yeah, she's the next Starfighter. Sorry, Alex.
That
No,
would be so funny.
There's the sequel.
I have to say, though, one of the things about Maggie, she seemed to take a lot of this in stride. Like, at first, she says, okay, I'm a beta unit. Like, okay, what do you do when you're, when your significant other says, hey, I'm a robot. I got robot parts. And then they get shot in the stomach and they say, see? It's pretty much like, let's get in the truck. I'll explain on the way. They cut away. They cut back to them. And she seems to be fully on board with all of this. Like, she's fast on the pickup. You just put it down once and she's like, okay, yeah, you're a robot. We're being chased by Zandozans. What are we doing about the Zandozans?
Can I talk about the truck?
You know what? The truck was a character. Go ahead.
No, because because it was really great. Because as soon as the android and Maggie touched the car, my mom was like, that car is getting totaled.
It's just like a piano.
Oh yeah. She was like, the car is gone.
It's the only Earth vehicle you see, so it's like Chekhov's truck. As soon as you see it, you know it's going to get destroyed.
Oh, Chekhov's truck.
I feel like that's part of the anime trope of Chekhov's truck. When's it gonna come in and start our narrative?
As much as I talked about Alex's nonverbals, Maggie was just as good. Like, this was a duo that sold it. Props to her.
Oh,
yeah. The nonverbals for her were just fantastic.
Honestly, wish she had more screen time with Alex.
This is why I want the next Starfighter. We get to focus on her.
That would actually be really fun.
There have been rumors about a sequel these past 3 to 4 years. Would it be fun? Maybe. But there's also part of me that thinks just leave this movie as it is.
Yep. It's fun enough.
Yeah.
Just release it again in theaters. It's fine.
I'd be fine with that.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I would see this on the big screen again.
I feel like there's a theater near us that will do reruns of all sorts of movies. I feel like this is what the sort of movie that the Somerville Theater would do a rerun of.
Okay, Somerville Theater, if you're listening, yeah, you've already sold 2 tickets. So, how about Zur?
I mean, someone said corny, over the top, and perfect for this movie, and yes. I agree. Like, they're very different, but somehow they reminded me of each other. The villain from the Sixth Element.
Yeah.
Fifth Element.
Jean-Baptiste
I was like,
Zur.
there are so many Bruce Willis movies with numbers in them. I can't keep track. Yeah, it was like I forget the name of the villain from Zorg.
Yeah. Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg.
Okay.
All right.
I should remember that.
My favorite.
But like the over the top and corny space villain, like it just hits the right note for this movie. He was enjoyable. I will say I did forget about him in Act 2 a little bit.
I think that's Act 2's fault.
Yeah. That's not his fault. It was Act 2's fault. Kind of wish we had more of him.
torturing more people, or this is the thing. It's like we set up the villains, we establish that they're villains, and then the rest of it is refusal of the call.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then try to get them to accept, and then wait a minute, we had villains. Who knew?
I know.
Really? He's a bad guy, obviously. They've said that he's a traitor, but how bad is he really? I mean, he seems like he's just a consultant. Oh, no, wait. He's got a big, sharp scepter now. That's someone whose entire personality is wrapped around their affectation.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of liked how that played into the story itself. Like toward the end, like his henchmen were just kind of like, "No, you suck at this. We're taking over now because you genuinely suck."
I felt like that when I went to my first city council meeting. Like,
Question: did this head city councilman have a scepter like Zer's?
Do you know what? That mayor probably would have taken a scepter. Like, oh my gosh! Like, I'm not going to tell the city. I'm not going to tell the time frame, but you know who you are if you're listening, and you're probably not. And you know that we left not as friends.
From the stories that you tell, he sounded a little bit mustache twirly.
I mean, no comment. So, Zer, thank you for running for office.
As a villain from a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Oh my goodness.
With a name like Mayor Dastardly Dan.
I said we weren't going to talk real names.
Sorry, my bad. Your mayorship, Dan.
Dad had to veto that one when they were trying to pick out names for me because of him.
But
you know, one final thing I want to say about his stupid scepter was that as a kid, I saw it, I'm like, whoa, that showed that this guy was really evil. And obviously the leader. And as I got older, I'm like, what purpose does that even serve? And then in this latest viewing, I realized, he uses it as punctuation. Because every time he ends a sentence, he snaps the blade out.
Yeah.
Now, I use my knife as a fidget tool, but that's taking it to a whole nother level.
The entire point is for him to look super cool, and I think it works.
Yeah, the thing that I've kind of headcanoned around this is that Zer is there to be the over-the-top front man that you're using to try to sell. Yeah, we're on a campaign
the
of
villain
evil.
Nepo baby.
Yeah, he's not just a Nepo baby, because he turned against his father and then gathered up a cult.
He feels like one.
He does feel like a Nepo baby that got put in charge of the company, and he's there to sell the idea at the convention and get all the investors together, even though he really has no ability to lead or has not even a real idea of how his product works.
No.
And I've seen those in real life, and I feel like when they finally get him out of here, and they're like, oh, yeah, I guess we're dead. Too late. There's a lesson to be learned here.
The lesson will never be learned.
No, it will not ever be learned. Well, do we have any concluding unscientific postscripts on The Last Starfighter?
I think I gave it what did I give it on my letterbox? I remember thinking highly of it. I think it got a 3.5, which for me is which is like a fun, good movie. It has its flaws, but in a still very enjoyable way. That's how I personally felt about it. And
yeah. Landmark? No. Fun?
Yes.
Yeah. Will I watch this again?
Yes.
Probably not today, but yes.
Well, and I'm just counting up all the movies with Bruce Willis that had numbers in the title, and there are a lot of them.
Oh, we've got to do the 12th we got to do the
12 days of Bruce Willis.
12 Monkeys.
Start with 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's
unfortunately there's 15 of them if you don't count sequels.
Do the sequels have numbers in them? Because I could be
Yeah.
flexible.
Well, like Die Hard 2, that expands the list considerably.
Yeah. So, if that's all that we've got on The Last Starfighter, then why don't we go to the zombie apocalypse strategy of the week, and we're going to offer that to our guest, Sam.
Hi.
Sam, how are we dealing with the shambling corpses?
Well, the thing is that when I first started out in the zombie apocalypse, I used to think that I could just find a nice, friendly, lovely cliff, until my friend pulled me aside and was like, dude, But like, if you really think about it, as an individual, you're totally right. But within the right community, your set of skills combined with everybody else's set of skills really does work to help create a continuation of at least our portion of the race of humanity. So, yeah. So she made a great point. Everyone has something: tool making, sewing, weaving, planting, foraging, etc. So individualistic level, no one is suited for the apocalypse, but within numbers there is strength in skills and community. Now, this does differ when it comes down to zombie types, because fast ones, I'm done. I can't run. I'm so sorry.
But I don't know though. You talked about finding community that does tool making, weaving, sewing. James, where can we find a society that does tool making, sewing, weaving, planting, and even
Your local
has some
library.
arms combat?
To find your local chapter of the Society of Creating Anachronisms, please go to sca.org.
So today we are saving ourselves from the zombie apocalypse by joining the SCA. Thank you so much for promoting that for us, Sam.
And you do have a very important skill that will help you out with the fast zombies too. You can drive.
I actually cannot.
Oh, well.
So
You probably know
Thanks a lot,
somebody who can
Bryan.
drive.
most of my friends cannot. We live in the city. Our favorite mode of transportation is the city bus and the city train, because driving in Boston is like driving nowhere else on earth.
Wow, you're definitely hosed.
Oh yeah, I know.
The city bus is not escaping.
Nope.
Oh no, the MBTA bus drivers would most definitely outdrive any zombie.
I mean, no, they would drive over any zombie. They're like, we got to schedule the cave out of the way. I stop for
So what I'm-
pedestrian, shambling
I have
dead.
a
No.
What I'm hearing
Feeling,
is
though,
that
most of their patrons will be zombies, though.
yeah.
True.
No, not necessarily, because what I'm hearing is that the zombie apocalypse in the Boston Cambridge area is going to get very Mad Maxy.
It really would.
Look, if all it would take is going without coffee for 36 hours with no Dunkin' Donuts, no Starbucks, no Cafe Nero, and then it turns into
Well,
Mad Max.
No, with no donkeys, just full stop.
I mean, you're right.
We're learning so much about the culture of the city.
It is ruthless and run on Duncan. Nothing else.
Fair enough. Well, Sam, that was a wonderful zombie apocalypse plan. Thank you very much for presenting it. And I must say, upon hearing it, it's become evidently clear that, Mike, you've really been phoning it in these last several episodes. It's time to up your game, good sir.
I mean, I got nothing for that. I mean, it's true.
Well, that is going to wrap it up for this episode. We want to thank you all for listening in. And Sam, thanks for hanging out with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Check us out online at geekatarms.com and at all the usual social media places. Facebook.com/geekatarms. Mike, where else can they find us online?
You can find us at Arms Geek at what's left of Twitter. You can also find us as Geek at Arms on Instagram, Blue Sky, and we are starting out into Threads, so you can look for us there too.
Leave us a review, give us a like. It actually does help the podcast. And so finally, from Bryan, Mike, and James, and Sam, be safe, be blessed, and be geeky.
Thanks for listening to Geek at Arms. Music for this podcast was provided by Incompetech.com. For more, check us out at Facebook.com/Geek at Arms. Give us a like and maybe even subscribe to us on iTunes. That would be awesome.